I'm back! And as a very temporary solution to the vine farming, ta-da! And the color of them is beautiful. Apple has been known for creating ergonomically bad mice. They have been since their first mouse, which was a rectangle. Their second mouse, known as not their second mouse, but the one that came with the, what do you call it? The iMac G3, that's what it's called. Known as the hockey puck mouse to the common public, but its official name was the Apple USB mouse. It was about as wide as a regular mouse, but it was a circle. Now, a circle. This doesn't work as well in Faithful. Now, a circle is a bad shape for a mouse because, well, if it's normal width, then it's hard for large-handed people to use. If it's smaller than, or if it's normal length, it's hard for small-handed people to use. And if it's and then along came the Apple Pro mouse. A beautiful mouse. The problem was its oblong shape. While it created a beautiful design, an oblong shape was still not a very good ergonomical shape for a mouse. Ooh. That was completely by accident. But you know what? I think that's good. Doot. Doot. So, andesite. Gravel. I consider myself an okay builder. Definitely not good. Put a stair there. And definitely not an amazing builder. That would be Scar. This is pretty advanced for me. Yep. A full slab width hole. Is this... will this do? It needs to be a cobblestone stone. Andesite definitely doesn't work as well in the Faithful pack. here, and then we put this here. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, the Apple Pro mouse was a beautiful mouse, but it was not very ergonomic. It was actually designed by mistake when Steve Jobs saw an unfinished design. I mean, the Apple design team showed him their designs, and what he preferred over all of them was an unfinished design. Oh hey, this unfinished design, I think I like that the best. It was still only a one-button mouse. One-button mice are completely gone. Do you see? Oops. Yeah. The Apple Pro mouse was literally just a, it was a graphite-colored, enclosure that was translucent. Transopaque. When I say graphite, I mean really dark graphite, almost black. And yeah, it was translucent. Transopaque, or not translucent, transopaque, showing the inner workings of the mouse. It had this little tension switch on the bottom, which literally made a minuscule difference. In other words, it did nothing. So it isn't a surprise that they just removed that with their next design, the Apple mouse. That is literally what it was called. The Apple mouse was even more beautiful, and it had the same shape. It was also ergonomically unfriendly. So if you wanted the now its center was white with the gray Apple logo on top, but it was completely opaque. Let no light through. It was missing the useless tension switch, but who really cares, because that tension switch made no noticeable difference anyway. The Apple Pro mouse was the last Apple mouse to include the slightly opaque transparent cord that showed the braided shielding wire, but not the inner wires. The Apple mouse had a white cord. It was The Apple mouse had a white cord. The Apple mouse was also a one-button mouse. After the Apple mouse was discontinued, Apple introduced the Apple Mighty Mouse. Apple's first multi-button mouse, and also the first and only buttonless mouse in existence, unless I don't know about some other buttonless mouse. But yep, the Apple Mighty Mouse was a buttonless mouse. Okay, doot. Almost out of moss stone. The Apple Mighty Mouse had the same shape, but because it didn't have that transparent shell, it wasn't as beautiful as the other two. It still did have beauty of its own, but it was not the best. It was not the most beautiful. It was technically a 4-button mouse, even though it didn't actually have buttons. It had touch sensors that apparently detected when the button was actually clicked, or when it was clicked. It's like, yeah. Now, it wasn't like the Force Touch trackpad where it didn't move at all. It did move. Except maybe for the side buttons, I don't know. Yep. 14 vines. After the Apple Mighty Mouse was discontinued, Apple introduced a wireless or not a wireless version of it, actually a Bluetooth version of it. And yes, Apple completely skipped wireless. I still prefer wireless over Bluetooth. However, that was not sold for very long. Shortly after, Apple released the Apple Magic Mouse, which was, for some reason, it was technically a 2-button mouse, but it actually detected which button you clicked by which side your finger was on when you clicked. It was also a multi-touch mouse. I would much rather have a standard non-touch mouse, and the multi-touch was what allowed it to be a functioning 2-button mouse with only one button. And its button was on the right. If you ask me, that is just stupid. Most of the time you're going to use the left-click function, aren't you? Yes. So if you use the right, so if the button is on the right, wouldn't that hinder your ability to make a left click? I know that with those 2-button touchpads, you get those. With those 2-button touchpads, if one of the buttons gets jammed, you can't easily make a click from the side that it's jammed on. Then again, if that one button is jammed, it's usually stuck in the up position. Or maybe it's not. Nope, but it still hinders your ability to make a left click. The Apple Magic Mouse was even less ergonomically friendly, or is even less ergonomically friendly than the Apple Mighty Mouse. The Apple Magic Mouse 2 actually introduced a rechargeable battery But there is a problem. The including charging port, which was a lightning port, was on the bottom. Now, oh, but it's fast charging. In 10 minutes, you can use it for a full day. That's 10 minutes that a Mac user could have been using their computer if the charging port weren't on the bottom. But honestly, considering they're so ergonomically unfriendly, why would you use an Apple mouse? They just give you CPS. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, that's carpal tunnel syndrome, which is bad. I need a new sword. That one's refusing to grow. No. Wait a minute. Duh. You left click. There we go, 24. Ooh, sleepy time. Sleepy time. Sleepy time in. Sleepy time at night. Now it decides to grow. I mean, I know growth of vines is random. Or actually pseudo-random. You used to be able to literally start climbing a ladder with your face. Sorry, this windscreen isn't the best. And it is also broken. I could try super gluing it together, but I am sure Mom wouldn't appreciate that. Nope, that is upside down. There are two ways to spell gray. There's the standard American way, G-R-A-Y, and then there is the standard non-American way, G-R-E-Y. They're both correct, depending on where you're from. Oh no. No, no. Phew. Disaster averted. No gravel in the ceiling because it'll fall. Well, I guess except there, because there is a torch to hold it up. But not if I place it there. Yep, okay. So hi. Apple mice are ergonomically unfriendly, generally. I don't think Apple has ever made an ergonomically friendly mouse. And now, let's do a recording of a run-through of this. So anyways,